I hope you're all as excited as I am. I'm pretty excited. This is the high point for me. I love this. I mean, like, I love Christmas. Everybody likes Christmas. But I love this. I love this moment right now, this worshipful moment, because right now is something special that we don't get to always experience. You know, your homes are different. They look different. You have the tree up. You have maybe the gifts underneath the tree. You got some lights up outside your house. And even as you're coming home, right, all the neighbors, we've all kind of conspired together to make a beautiful a landscape that is full of these lights. And we don't get to do that. We get to hang out with friends. We call family. We get to come here, and this is one of those perfect moments, those perfect picturesque moments. And for me, it's my high point. In fact, I am like so nervous. Anybody who gets within about 5 feet of me, I hug immediately. Because I really want this to be perfect, right? I want this to go so well. This is the moment where we get to have this God moment. We don't always get these God moments where God just kind of breaks into the world and says, I'm here, and we get to feel Him. We get to have His presence around us, and we just know that He's here, and we have it today. We have this holy time. And we get to sing these great songs that remind us of all the great times, and we get to be with family, and the best time, the highest of the high points, will be near the end of our worship when we light the candles. Everybody's got a candle, right? If you don't have a candle, get a candle, because that's it. I love that moment, and no joke, I'm like going to stop what I'm doing and pull out my cell phone, and I will straight up take a picture of all y'all. Because it's so awesome. I love this moment. And I look forward to it every year. And tonight's no different. We get to have this God moment tonight where we get to have those brief moments where nothing can go wrong. You know, it doesn't always happen. Life comes at us. And tonight, for a little bit anyway, we get to have those moments where nothing can go wrong and everything's going to be working out just fine. And we're going to get lost in the majesty that is this moment. Because leading up to this moment, it probably didn't feel like that. It probably felt like a whole lot of chaos, like Mary would have felt, right? She's on her journey, she's all big and pregnant, and they're going, and I'm sure you're feeling that same way, like you have your spouse, you're pretty sure you have the spouse, because every morning you wake up, they seem to wake up also, but other than that, they might have been dead in the middle of the night, and you wouldn't know, because it's go, 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 go. This is how my world looks anyway. And yeah, I can squeeze that in, and yeah, I can make that thing, and I can do that, and I can do all these things that need to do. And like Mary, we have this special night tonight. We're in the midst of all the chaos and all the crazy muck that goes on in our life. We get to have this wonderful moment. And maybe you're asking yourself, like Mary, who had that special night where Joseph and the angels and the shepherds and everybody's coming together, and they're all worshiping that baby, that special baby. Maybe you're asking yourself that question that Mary asked herself, what is that smell? Because you know that barn smelled, right? We don't think about that, but look, this is the picture we get when we think nativity. Okay, you see Mary in the middle there, smiling, all happy. Now that's a teenager who just gave birth. There's no doctors, there's no midwives, there's no nurses. This woman did not have an epidural. She gave birth. That doesn't even look like a birth scene. There's no blood. There's no tears. You know that those donkeys smelled. Nobody there is given that, ooh, what's that smell face? This is some weird idealized fiction. This is not how God works in the world. But we beat up ourselves to have this perfect, picturesque, idealized fiction. We go out of our way to go shopping, and then we take all these gifts and we wrap them up so that the person that we give them to can be all surprised or something. I don't know why we wrap gifts up. And we bake pastries. I have baked so many pastries. My wife is sick of me baking pastries. And if you're with me, then you know why, so that you can give them away. You don't eat them. You do all this work. You don't even get to eat them. And you put the lights up so that you can have them, just so that you can yell at the lights that didn't get pulled out. And then you're going to put them back in the box perfectly nice and neat. And they're going to open up next year, and they're going to be horrible again. And you're going to have parties. And you have to go to parties. And you're going to have to be cheerful. And then you got to worry, can I say Merry Christmas, or am I not allowed to say Merry Christmas? Where am I on this boat? Is it Hanukkah yet? Can I even say that? And you get into the spirit. And you want to have the perfect and the picturesque, and the perfect and the picturesque is a lie. And it's not helpful. It bleeds into our life that we should have this perfect, that this picturesque is attainable. And it fills all of our thoughts. It gives us this imperative. You got to go. You got to look the part. You got to make sure that you're present at this thing or that thing. You got to be so that everybody else can see that everything is perfect and fine and dandy. And I know that some of you are saying, I'm not a perfectionist. Liars. If I were to call you up right now, you would clean up your house. You would clean up your house, and you might even say a few choice words, and then you would throw some dishes in the oven. Because you needed to go and take care of something else over here. And your Facebook pages, all of our Facebook pages look the same. They are our highlight reel of all the perfect and all the picturesque. Nobody puts on their Facebook page, bad hair day. All right. This idealized fiction is the same thing that gets us in trouble in all the aspects of our life. And the way that it gets us in the most trouble are the things that are the most important. Because we think that we have one more thing to do, and so all of a sudden love ceases to be an expression, and it's become a chore. You got to go shopping. You got to get the gift. You got to do that because someone is expecting you, because you know what? They gave you the gift last year, and so now you got to go and you got to give it to them. And instead of saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice some time, or I know exactly what this person wants, you end up fulfilling an obligation. That's not love. And our faith life becomes the same way. Our faith lives look more like our memberships to Planet Fitness. I know you all have memberships to Planet Fitness, and none of you go. Because I have a membership to Achieve Fitness, and I never go. But I think I'm going to go, and the new year's coming. So I get to lie to myself again. You know what here's what happens. I'm going to look the best anybody has ever looked. I'm going to be like super fit. I'm going to be super fly, TNT. I'm going to be super sexy. I'm going to be so sexy, I'm going to walk around naked and people are going to thank me. They're going to say, thank you, Pastor, for showing us your carved, awesome abs. And in a German accent, I'm going to say, you're very welcome. At least this is what I tell myself as I'm sitting in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A. Because I cannot do pizza, not pizza again. The kids need to eat, and I called Panera, and the wait is too long, and so I'm going to go through the drive-thru. And this is what happens. All kinds of good intentions end up falling away into a drive-thru. And faith and love end up being these picturesque things that we think we can obtain. And they're just another pot boiling over. And drive-by faith, like everything else that's drive-by, won't sustain. The beautiful thing is God knows this. This is why He came into the world. You see, before Jesus, you would do drive-by faith just like we do today. You would have like one day a year where you would trek off to the big temple and you would buy a bull or a couple doves or whatever your tax bracket was, and then you would hand that to some priest and he would, do his thing, and you would be good and you would go back to your life for a year, and God lived up in the clouds and you lived on earth, and never the two shall meet. Once a year maybe if you really feel like going. And God said, this is unacceptable. This is not good. We need more. God said, you and I, we need more. We need us some Jesus, which is what He did. He gave us constant contact. He came down from the clouds where He was caught up in and forgotten about and irrelevant so that He might come and solve our problem. God came to us. God, the Almighty, the creator of everything, the creator of galaxies and planets and gravity, the creator of C-sharp minor sevens and rainbows, the creator of love and faith. This God that made everything came down to be a human to show us really what is love, which is not fighting the Buckman's traffic. It smells, and it's full of chaos. And That's where God decided to live, in the muck. That's where God decided to live and to die for us. He came as a child then so that he might come to our lives now, right now. Now, I tell you, he's come into your life. I don't want you to start tidying up. I don't want you to freak out and start hiding all the things that you don't think God knows. God knows. You don't need to tidy up. He knows. Just be honest. There's no fooling God. He understands. He came to us because we need him so much. He knows our spiritual malnutrition. It's not a question of do we need God? We need God. He came into the world. He came into a dirty barn. He came to an unwed couple so that there would be pain when he came into the world. So he would shake our worlds up. And in that barn, where I'm certain Mary cried, and there was blood because there was a birth, and it was uncomfortable because it wasn't a Holiday Inn. And there were animals, and they had fleas, and there were ticks, and there was no Purell. This is the world that God came into, to show us the lengths that he would go to show you how loved you are with all your flaws and all your insecurities, so that you would know that when the bills are mounting up and the kids just won't stay quiet and they're all yelling and screaming and your bodies are failing you and you've got all kinds of social awkwardness, God came into this chaos so that you might not have just a God moment tonight, but so that God moments might never stop for you. God came into the world so that God might be in your life forever.